Yes, I have a thought that I'd like to record. Matt Dingbaum has destroyed my life and business during the time of my loss of 4 family members, keeping my wife alive for 15 months and watching her pass at her young age of 57. Then my father got sick, and his twin brother, my only uncle, got sick. And Uncle Gaylord went first, and my dad went after that. This DOT has allowed all these rules that they were breaking, and they are all now still working, selling cars in Illinois. I wanted to get this down somewhere so I could remember that DOT, Matt Dingbaum, has broke all the same rules that I did, but 10 times the full. And he knows I was bankrupt, and he forced me to pay for all the titles to be put in my personal name and license plate on every vehicle. I wanted to also state that I wasn't told I was out of business until 1/12 of 19. I have buried my wife, my father, his twin brother, my uncle, and my mom, all within a 14-month period between 2017 and 2018. They and the entire city has been out against me and enforcing every possible rule that just they know hurts my business, trying to keep me in line. These charges that I have received is only a tidbit. It's not even my paperwork. I didn't know nothing about it. I did not know that they were trying to ruin my business and make money at the same time because I wasn't there to pay attention. I've been overrun. The laws that were broken was known about long before. Matt Dingbaum knew about all of them, followed all of them, chased all of them. Jerome Bates, he's the one that caused all this. And I also want to say that I put somebody in charge of this sales department of automobiles, and she just wasn't trained enough to handle the personalities and the need to support herself and her small brother that she takes care of after her mom died, and her son, and I've tried to help all the way along, and I handed her something more than she could handle. But to secure her income, We were telling Matt all along that this stuff was going on. I called Matt to come in to stop it, what was going on. And he decided to use his power to make me an example to all the other little businesses that are running around here, selling cars, still doing business. I didn't know it was a big drug business. I thought these people had money and they were buying and selling cars. They were selling them under my name. But then they decided that anything would go. Matt knew all along that this was going on. He did not reprimand any of them in any way, shape, or form. I have been raked across the coals, put out of business. What the heck am I supposed to do? I just filed bankruptcy. He knew that. I had no money, and he has forced me to put every vehicle in my name with plates before I can personally sell them to somebody else. But he's going to break the rule about, I can only do 7 a year. He's just pulling a favor for me until I can get this mess straightened out. I have found out that other people have bought 5 cars in the amount of $20,000 that were signed up as drivers, not buyers. I've never sold my license, but they have taken advantage of my license. I am the victim here. I don't understand why people don't see this. I have been totally taken advantage, and my entire life has been wiped out. I've lost my family. The city and the county and the state has forced me in so many rules that I can't possibly keep up. I don't know what they expect me to do. I'm paying my bills. For 12 years, I've paid every bill I've owed. I've lost my house to the city. I'm constantly ground down from everybody, from the fire department to the deputies to the every branch of the business that can possibly come down on me has, all in this year. I want to sue the city, the DOT. These guys haven't had to treat me like this. I was trying to make commerce, which I have a right to do, and I was doing it with all the right licensing. If he knew that everything that was going on, and I didn't because I was out taking care of my family, my mother, my father, my wife of 40 years, I'm busy. Take care of this. Melissa Cooksey was totally involved and wanted to secure my income and her income while I suffered through these losses. And they blamed it all on us. These other guys are cheating. They're drug dealers. They're scammers. They do everything they possibly can, and somehow they're funded. Well, I don't know. Some of them worked also besides buying and selling cars. All of a sudden, they're making up all these rules based off of my little tiny used car sales lot and the repair center. We never put out to hurt anybody. And we've been listening to these people scream at us every day, every morning. And then we get bad-mouthed by the DOT downtown. And then we get bad-mouthed, well, that's the Treasury Department, and then the DOT uptown, the general store. And they treat me like shit. I put these things in my name. I pay the taxes against what the auction sold it to me for. And I didn't know I was without a license until January 22nd. And he is forcing me to put 30-some cars all back into my personal name and allowing it with the state because he's trying to look out for the customer. Well, so am I. This paperwork that's necessary to sell a car in Scott County is absolutely ludicrous. I don't understand why they try to put so much pressure on us. We always do a good job. We've always had a good name. For 40 years I've been in business for myself. Always followed every guideline, every permit, every single thing that I'm supposed to do, I do. I've lost my house. I finally get another house. I finally lose my business. I lose it to my house to the flood. The business has been under water for the last 20 years, every here and there. You know the flood dates. I've been in them areas all my life. I do nothing but work 60 to 70 hours a week, trying to keep myself busy, wondering how I'm going to live without my parents and my wife that I'd planned on spending the rest of our days with. I've been working so hard. She's got cancer and dying. I got other people taking care of her. I don't believe the things that I have been through. The city taking my house after it flooded, and then I ended up in a basement fucking living. I don't understand. These guys are trying to make an example out of me, and they break all their own rules. They're making up new rules constantly just to put me down. They inspected me right up the yazoo. And then they took all my papers for 2.5 years. I can't do my taxes. I can't fucking do my 1099s. He's taken all my paperwork, all my basic stuff, and put it in his office and has kept it for 6 months. And I'm expected to straighten out all these titles when I don't even have the paperwork. He has it boxed up in his office. His office is full of it. I am out here pleading for help, bleeding, losing everything, including my dead family of 4. I don't know what you expect out of me. I've never done nothing but try to do good for me, my family, and my customers, and the people that I live with day in and day out, working, trying to save people in junk cars. I fixed the hardest cars around. These are the cars that all the dealerships threw back because they wasn't worth fixing. And they're selling it to us at damn near retail price. The ones that you can get under retail price are junk. I mean, total 100% junk. I bought 9 vehicles with the help of another company, and every single one of them had a bad tranny, a bad motor, and these things are just being pushed through the auction, lied and lied and lied. The auction house has barred me because I filed bankruptcy after making them some $200,000 a year approximately, and just half of the sales. That should be double that. They're made out great. Everybody's making out great but me. I didn't break these rules. I would never break rules. I try to do it 100%. If it's possible, I'll do it. But I don't understand why. I don't understand why everybody has come down on me like this. Does the city and the state have nothing else better to do than to harass companies? Why don't you send in a learning crew? Teach us what we're doing wrong. Not just throw fines at us and fines at us. You never gave me one fine for anything that you knew was going on. And you promoted it because I asked you to hire Jerome Bates back, and you said yes. That's the only reason he was there, because you allowed it. Everything that I've done wrong, you've allowed, and then all of a sudden now you want to make an example out of me. I am the victim here. I've been stole from. I've been taken from. I've been hit by every part of the community in all negative ways. I'm just trying to make a living for myself. I work hard. How can I possibly live with all these people threatening me, the river threatening me, there's a flood coming, my taxes are due, my lawyer doesn't get back to me, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do anymore. I'm just trying to put it out that I have taken it on the chin until I'm dead. Having trouble finding reason because I have broken no rules. I did not know about rules being broken. And the rules that was being broken, when I was told to do something about it, I did. But they continued. I don't know what they do outside of the business. Okay? I just know when they're selling the car and doing the paperwork at our place. I'm not trying to sell my license or rent my license. I was trying to do business with people. Buying, selling, and fixing cars. That was my only intent. And not to sell junk to people. And they were selling junk to people. And I can't check out every single one of the cars. Yes, it got out of control. I understand. I believe. I paid my dues. I'm done. You've taken everything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I keep saying that. I'm trying to figure it out. But it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. I don't think I've been treated fair. I think these things are malice. I think he has slandered my name. My name is being slandered all over the internet, social medias, selling sites, people screaming at me because I can't get the paperwork right. Well, people, there is no right way for the paperwork. It's just incredibly crazy. I spent a whole year sitting in the treasurer's office trying to get paperwork through that the auction gave us that didn't give a shit about signing anything. Every title I got was messed up. I paid for every one of them. You can't get through your paperwork. I spend a full-time job just trying to take care of the paperwork. It shouldn't be that hard. It's so confusing. I've been at it for 5 years. I barely understand. You got smug people working downtown. Once I lost my license, oh my gosh, I was the curse of the fucking West End. Everybody knows the West End. They know that my business was moving up, better and better and better and better cars all the time. There is a lot of car sales that we took care of that didn't give us problems. A whole lot more. And in a percentage, I can't make every single customer completely 100% happy. They ask for more than they deserve. And they beg or they scream at me for days in and days out on paperwork that I can't get fixed because the DOT's got to fix it on me. I'm trying to be strong. And I don't know how I made it this far. But this is absolutely incredible. And it's so big that nobody even wants to be around me because of all the crap. I mean, every month I'm getting hit by another city ordinance, another city code, another thing. You can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. The big dealerships don't want us doing that. The small business is just being crushed. I was working hard trying to build something nice that I could move up and out with. I didn't mean to break no rules. I didn't even know I was breaking any rules. You knew everything I knew. Can't seem to get a hold of my lawyer. I'm going to a probation officer. I told her this story. She didn't believe it. And she gave me the inspiration to try to come on here and explain it, okay? It's hard to explain. But I don't know why I'm being tested so. And if it has a great glory at the end of it, that'd be great. Because I have several people that I feel owe me a serious apology And let's figure out what kind of slanderous rules breaking thing that you blamed on me and forced me to bankrupt, and then forced me to find a lawyer to 14 things against me that I didn't even do, and you know that I didn't have nothing. If there was a dash changed, it was changed because it didn't work. Not if one of my guys put it on there as a lower mileage thing. I had no idea about that kind of stuff. And there's no way that I could have kept up with it. But we were trying to maintain until I was able to stand back up and take control of the situation. As I've been beat down, the neighbor, I have trespassing shit against me for trespassing or threatened of. And he ran me over with a fucking truck because I was walking in his lane. Oh my God. The guy is out to sabotage me. Everybody is out to sabotage me. Why? You can look up in the city that this guy has made 100 complaints about my shop. And I can't get any of the city to agree on one thing or another. Which is, the site is another thing. If I wasn't crushed out of 1/3 of my site, it wouldn't have been such a mess down there. I don't understand. I try so hard, and I do very well. And it's not from lack of trying, because I believe these people have nothing better to do but to find ways to shut people down. There's all kinds of drug dealing going on out there. There's all kinds of cash going around out there. You know, I just found a way that go in business, which I have to pay all this huge insurance and shit and bonds and licenses and fees and classes that you forced me to take and then told me I couldn't get my license. I paid for all that stuff. I had no idea I was breaking any laws. We were selling cars and trying to keep customers happy when they knew they could take advantage of us. And they did, to the point of completely wiping me out. I ain't got no more. I won't give up no more. These people have done me wrong. And I'm hoping something can be done about it. Because the last man on earth that I feel that deserves this is not me. It ain't got nothing. I mean, I would never be like that. I'm standing at the counter in the consumer's path and trying to do the best deal I can with what they have to work with. And being strapped for the most of my life, you know, whether it be the insurance I have now, which is Obamacare, and Iowa Care, that I have no complaints. Okay, that's the only way I'd be alive right now, because I wouldn't have the medicine, I wouldn't have the doctors, I wouldn't have them checking up on me and making sure everything's working okay. Even through this complete disaster, hurricane storm that has breached over my buildings. I love my kids. I don't have no time for them then, and I don't have time for them now, because I'm so freaking busy trying to keep everything within the law. I don't even have time to be creative anymore, because I'm so tied up with all this other paperwork that doesn't make any sense to the average person. I know I've been rambling a while. I wanted to get some stuff off my chest. And this way maybe more people can understand where I'm coming from. I'm very lost. but I need the time. I didn't make no plans to break no rules ever. Everything that was going on at my shop was allowed by Matt. And all the information that I received on the state's welfare and what we do and how to do it has been frustrating to the max, way past the point of then I have to get another license to sell cars on credit. So maybe I could retire someday. But no, they have another law on that which requires so much bookkeeping. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how anybody would keep up with it, you know. And then you got the sales tax hitting you and this hitting you and the gas and electric bill going scout through the roof. Everything's going through the roof. And all I'm doing is being knocked down every time I turn around to try to make some good business. My intentions is good business. I'll do my fair job for anything that I work for, and I get paid for it. Lately, there's been no pay. Luckily, a lot of it was borrowed and not my own personal money because I was finally had a good credit score. I finally, qualified for loans. And then I was taken advantage of. These huge loans, double the money back in 10 months. It was just nuts. And they start taking it out every day. It started out at 365 days a day out of my account, 5 days a week. Or 6 days a week, I think it was. And it went up to 1,150 by the time I was trying to cover everybody. I couldn't do it. There's no way that unless I was selling drugs, can I flip money like that? Every time I try to do something good for the people around me, I end up being slapped down that ain't right. It ain't right. I never meant to hurt nobody, and I never meant to do any bad deals. Okay, that's why Freemason, that's what it is. It's about a square, clean heart. A square deal on the level. You and me equal. This is something that I can't even imagine. So I want to take some notes like this so I can counter back at them. Which is the technology is awesome, but. I spend most of my time trying to stay sane in an insane world, and and I don't fall on board. I work, no worries. I've been running business for 40 years. That has to say something when most businesses don't last 2. 40 years, in this past 40 years. Has been crazy on business. And now, for whatever reason, the Davenport does not want me here. Davenport does not want me dirtying the West End up. They won't let me incubate a business quite long enough before they shut it all down. This is part of the city's fault because the city never stuck up for me. I have a crazy neighbor. And I'm not, joking. I'm not saying that to be mean. He is nuts. He's off his rocker, okay? I've tried to deal with him. I've begged him to deal with me, to fairly and on and up and a square deal. No, he got a big farm, but he's just down here just to irritate the shit out of us. That's all. That's all he's there for, because his mom, he's lost everybody now. And then he started renting the place out illegally, and the place was falling apart, and people living there was coming out with guns and threatening to shoot us because we may have stepped on a blade of their grass up on the edge of an area that is the city's and not his. Yeah, I got trespassing charges. I don't know. I hope I'm not boring anybody. I'm just trying to put some of my thoughts down. This life has been very tough on me because I don't normally find a way to fight back until later. got my face busted open at 7-Eleven, okay? All of the stores bought sheds to put the crates in the shed so people couldn't pick them up and bash them into other people's faces. I never pressed it back then, and I think now I should, because all these people have put me, I'll obey the rules. I paid my taxes, With all this going on, the flood is coming to wipe me out. They say it's going to be the biggest flood ever, and I'm in a flood zone. So it's about ready to be all taken away from me, good or bad. But Davenport has done nothing but try to hold me down, hold me back. There's so many laws, and they put so many laws on it. You go across the river and none of these laws apply. It's just unbelievable, the rules that they have on this side of the river for business people. I can go over there, sell cars tomorrow. I don't want to go to Illinois, okay? But they are over there trying to produce and not trying to shut people down. I'm not out to hurt nobody. The water line is broken out in front of my place 6 times. 4 times in 1 year. Flooding my place. The flooding downtown cuts all that off from me. I've been sandbagging constantly ever since I had a building. It's just unbelievable. The flooding threat that comes over you and you just go flush, and all you want to do is trying to get stuff up high enough, and they ain't high enough yet. I'd have to move everything out into a semi-trailer to save it, and then try to fix the building, and then try to start business back up. I don't know. Depending on how much I lose, I don't know if there would be anything worth anything, if I can save it or not. Whether it comes or not, I have to consider it. DOT has hurt me. He's hurt my family. The state's got to be held accountable for what they do. He is breaking all the same rules, trying to get these titles through, while sinking me because he is forcing me to put them all